Up to the sky, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Zay, collectively known as SoCal Uncensored or
SCU! This is Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the worst podcast I've ever been on. Word.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the best podcast you never heard of. My name's Tom. I am your host. Today is Friday, March 10th, 2023. I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, and subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. Make sure to check out our Linktree, which is linktree/catchhookshoot. Or you can scan this little QR code in the corner right here. You'll find links to our website, all of our social media, the YouTube, all the podcasting platforms, and all that kind of fun stuff. We do have a Pro Wrestling Tees store, but it is not active right now. I mean, you can go to it, but you'll see there's nothing in it at the moment. Kind of revamping our merch at the moment, so keep an eye out for that. It should be back up here relatively soon. If you ever want to shoot us an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. So let's dive right into everything going on this past week of the wonderful, wacky world of pro wrestling, and we are jumping right past the lead story into the match of the week. Alright, so the match of the week this week is also the lead story, so we're just kind of mashing those two together, and that is MJF versus Bryan Danielson at AEW Revolution last week. Now, I was not able to watch the pay-per-view myself, but I did, was keeping up on it online, watching highlights, that kind of thing, and I mean, honestly, I'm sorry I missed them. I have to go back and check it out, because by all accounts this was just a fantastic Iron Man match between these two guys. MJF ended up winning it 4-3 in sudden death overtime, and he won that final fall with the label lock. He used Bryan Danielson's own move against him, and MJF retained the AEW World Championship. And then, just kind of cementing himself as a heel, because exactly what I said was going to happen happened. He took a DQ so that he could get an advantage and get some falls out of that. So, just kind of proving himself as one of the top heels in the game right now. And like I said, won that match 4-3. Then after the match, there was an interview with Danielson explaining why he tapped out. He was thinking about his kids. He said he couldn't feel his arm, that kind of thing. And, very, very emotional, and ended it all off with saying it's time for me to go home. So I'm guessing we're not going to see Bryan Danielson on TV for a little while. Don't know if this is another retirement for him, or if he's just taking some time off, or exactly what's going on, but definitely some interesting goings on. So yeah, the match of the week and the lead story this week is MJF versus Bryan Danielson from AEW Revolution. Like I said, I haven't seen the match myself. I definitely need to, and so do you guys, so go check it out. Again, MJF just proving he is the top heel in AEW, if not in all of wrestling right now, quite honestly. So, as much as I hate to admit it, I am an MJF fan. So it is what it is, I guess. So anyway, let's keep rolling right along into the next part of the show, which is my top 3 highlights of the week, and that's called the 3 count. So first up on the 3 count this week, Cody and Roman on SmackDown, the promo that they had. WWE is doing a very good job of making this personal. Jim Ross always talks about there needs to be some kind of personal issue to get the fans invested. There needs to be that hook to pull the fans in, and they are definitely doing a great job with it, as far as, bringing Dusty into the storyline, and Roman talking about how much Dusty influenced his career and all the talks that he and Dusty used to have. And then he tells Cody, you know what he used to say about you? Nothing. So I mean, that's got to sting a little bit, even whether it's true or not. That's just kind of messed up. Number 2 on the 3 count, John Cena returns on Raw and has an in-ring promo with Austin Theory, and that sets up a match between the two of them at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. And this is something that's gonna, I think, make or break Austin Theory. This is what is gonna kind of. He's already over. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not over. The fans love him. But I'm saying as far as WWE goes, this is going to kind of be his make or break moment where, he either gets himself over in this match with Cena or not. That's kind of what this is, to see if he can go to that next level. I'm not saying they're going to fire him if he loses the match or doesn't, have a good match or whatever. I'm not taking it to that extreme, but I think this is going to kind of be the test to see, is he a main eventer? Is he ready for the main event? So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an interesting build, depending on how much we see of Cena on TV between now and WrestleMania. What kind of promos we see from Theory and stuff like that. So yeah, John Cena made a big return in Boston for Raw this past week. And number 3 on the 3 count, FTR made their return to AEW at Revolution and also on Dynamite this past week, and they made no bones about it. They want the AEW tag team titles from the Guns, from the Ass Boys. So that's I'm assuming that's going to get built up probably until the next pay-per-view or the next special event that AEW has coming up, whichever comes first. So let's get into some news and rumors and results from the week. House of Black are the new AEW Trios champions. They defeated the Elite at Revolution last week. And then this coming week on Dynamite, we're going to see a Trios triple threat match for those Trios titles, with House of Black defending against the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Elite. So that should be interesting. I can't recall ever seeing a triple threat trios match. I mean, I've seen plenty of triple threat tag teams and singles and stuff like that, but triple threat trios match, 9 guys in there should make for an interesting match. Hangman Page defeated Moxley at AEW Revolution as well in a Texas Death Match, which was apparently just bloody as all hell. So that's another one I'm going to have to go back and check out. Wardlow defeated Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship at Revolution. Then it was reported that his car got broken into and his gear and the belt and everything else got stolen. Now I'm wondering if that was part of a storyline, because on Dynamite he lost the title to Powerhouse Hobbs, and the belt was there. So unless that was a spare that they had, because at one point there were 2 TNT champions when they had the champion and the interim champion. So, but yeah, whatever the case may be, Powerhouse Hobbs is the new TNT champion. Ricky Starks beat Jericho at Revolution, and then on Dynamite came out doing a promo in the ring, gets attacked by Juice Robinson. So, and he came out to the Bullet Club music, and even Excalibur said I thought he had left the Bullet Club in Japan. So, interested to see where this is going to go. Coming up next week on Dynamite, kind of a interesting announcement from Tony Khan. Orange Cassidy defending the All Atlantic Championship against Jeff Jarrett, but the championship is being renamed to the AEW International Championship. Now, see, I was never sure how I felt about the All Atlantic Championship to begin with. I didn't really think AEW needed another title right then. They still don't, I don't think. But so it's now going to be the AEW International title, kind of almost like when WCW for a little while there had 2 world champions. You had the WCW World Champion, and then you had the WCW International World Champion, which was the NWA Championship. That was the big gold belt. But so I don't know where this one's going. I'm not too sure about it, but you know me. I'm the kind that'll wait and see before I render any kind of judgment on it. Ruby Soho has joined up with Saraya and Toni Storm. Now, this happened at Revolution during the Women's World Championship match, and yeah, so don't really know what else to say about that one. Ruby Soho is joined up with Saraya and Toni Storm. Kind of makes sense. They all, came from WWE, and they're going against the homegrown stars of AEW. Ruby had a match this week against Sky Blue, was going to spray paint her. Willow Nightingale came out and made the save and caught a beat down herself. So, Saraya's got herself a nice little faction. I will say that. Saraya, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho is a hell of a group there. So, I got a feeling they're going to kind of be taking over the women's division, or at least trying to. And also Jamie Hayter is still the women's champion after Revolution. I left that part out. That's probably where I paused because I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, so we've seen actually the past couple of weeks on SmackDown some interesting segments between Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic really starting to push hard to goad his dad into a fight, and obviously this is building to WrestleMania. I'll get into more of that a little bit later on, but Dominic getting right in Rey's face, telling him hit me, and Rey's not doing it, and I get that. That makes sense. That is a very real life, realistic piece of storytelling there, because if you're not a parent, you don't understand, but you're not gonna haul off and punch your kid in the face. I don't care how old they are or what they're doing. You're not going to ever want to do that. So, definitely a good piece of storytelling there between Rey and Dominic. Let's see what else we got here. Solo Sikoa defeated Sami Zayn on SmackDown, and Solo and Jimmy Uso tried to put a beat down on Sami after the match, but he did manage to escape. And then moving on to Raw, Kevin Owens defeated Solo Sikoa by DQ, and he was about to catch a beat down from Solo and Jimmy Uso. Sami came running out to make the save, still trying to make that appeal to Kevin Owens to kind of join up to take out the Bloodline. Kevin still, very resistant to that idea. I still think it's going to happen sooner or later because it just makes sense to have that match at WrestleMania, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos. It just makes sense. Then Seth Rollins and Logan Paul is set for WrestleMania. They were both on Miz TV. God, I hate Logan Paul, but he basically knocked out Seth Rollins with one punch. I mean, of course, the Miz kind of distracted Rollins, so he turned his back on Logan Paul for a minute. And when Rollins turned back around, Paul just hit him with a right hook, and Rollins just dropped. So, obviously it was a working punch. He didn't really, knock Rollins out, but it was well done. I'll say that. But I hate Logan Paul. Hate him. Can't stand him. But anyway. Then we saw Edge attack Finn Balor during a match with Johnny Gargano, and basically cost Finn the match. Gargano picked up the victory, and then Edge later on said he will be in the ring next week to meet Finn face to face. And of course, again, I think this is leading to a WrestleMania match between the two. Another WrestleMania match that got set up this week. Lita and Becky Lynch, the new women's tag team champions, along with Trish Stratus, will be taking on Damage Control in a 6-woman tag team match. So that's, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm looking forward to that one because, Trish, Lita, and Becky, arguably three of the best. Trish, in my opinion, greatest of all time in the women's division. Lita, very close second. Even though, I mentioned last week there was some visible ring rust on her in that tag team title match, but it's Lita. I'm pretty sure by WrestleMania that ring rust is going to be gone. And then you've got Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Bayley. With these 6 women in there, you really can't go wrong. Then the main event of Raw, Sami Zayn defeated Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso finally showed his face after however many weeks it's been towards the end of that match, and it looked like he was going to leave with Sami Zayn, and then he super kicked him in the face. And then they all three proceeded to beat the hell out of him, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa. So, Jey Uso apparently back with the Bloodline, unless it's some kind of big swerve, which I don't really think it is, but who knows. But I think we're going to see sometime soon Kevin Owens is going to, he's going to break and he's going to help out Sammy, and they're going to end up working together. But in this particular case, Cody did come out to make the save. And something interesting during one of the backstage segments with, I believe it was a segment with Elias and Bronson Reed and Rick Boogs. In the background, you saw Cody Rhodes talking to Kevin Owens in the back. Now, of course, Cody's got the title match with Roman. Kevin Owens has his issues with the Bloodline, and then Cody came out and saved Sami Zayn from the Bloodline. That would be a nice little faction. Cody, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens going up against the Bloodline. I mean, WrestleMania is still 4 weeks away. They got some time to build that alliance, and I mean, obviously, Cody's match is already set. The Usos and Sammy and KO is kind of in the works, unless they're gonna put them in singles matches. Who knows? But I kind of like that as its own little faction. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. So I'm interested to see where this is gonna go, if anywhere. It could have just been. I mean, in WWE, you don't have just random people in the background. If somebody's in the background talking, it's because they're supposed to be there. So it's got to be going somewhere. I hope. So anyway, it's going to do it for all the news of the week. So right now I'm going to throw it over to Charlie G, and he's here with your Indie Cut.
I don't know if you like podcasts or if you don't like podcasts, but damn it, the Indie Cut with Charlie G. If you don't like podcasts, you're about to like podcasts. Go watch the Indie Cut with Charlie G, damn it. It's the finest podcast amongst all podcasts.
Thank you, Tom, and Hall of Fame Briscoe Brothers, and hey there, wrestling friends. I'm Charlie G with this week's Indie Cut. Let's begin with Thursday, March 2nd, and Beyond Wrestling 61 Spotlight from Worst to Mass. We had an Elimination Cup tag title match of the Miracle Generation of Dustin Waller and Kylon King, who are champions, to defeat Team TNT of Terrell Hughes and Terrence Hughes. Pedro Downs defeated Carlos Romo, who's still on his U.S. tour, so it's nice to see. And in an Anything Goes match, Bobby Orlando defeated Bronson. To Saturday, March 4th, and Tokyo Oshi Pro continued with their winner circuit. Mizuki defeated Pam Harajuku. Yuki Sakazaki defeated Raku. In a tag match, Miyo Yamashita and Moko Miyamoto defeated Mihiro Kiru and Soka Nakajima. And in a 6-woman tag, Hyper Misao defeated Naoka Kuda. Hyper Misao, Naoka Kuda, and Rika Tatsumi defeated Hirono Neko, Miyu Watanabe, and Yuki Kawafuku. To Stardom, Triangle Derby Championship Battle. The final night of this tournament that lasted over 2 months. 6-woman tag, Maika, Mai Sakurai, and Tekla defeated Maria May, Mina Sarakawa, and Raket Tsukiyama. In a 10-woman tag, Fukigen Death, Mo Watanabe, Natsuka Tora, Ruaka, and Saki Kashima defeated Hanan, Kaguma, Mayu Iwatani, Momo Kogo, and Saida. In the first semifinal match of the Triangle Derby, it was Amy Sarai, Mirai, and Suri defeating Natsupoi, Tam Nakano, and Saki. And in the other semifinal match, it was the team of Prominence of Haruhi Kurumi, Misa Sera, and Susie Suzuki defeating Nanai Takahashi, Yuna Mizumori, and Yu. We had Chihiro Hashimoto defeating Himeka. For the Wonder of Stardom title, an outstanding match, champion Saya Kamatani defeated Hazuki. And a great match for the high-speed title, champion Azumi defeated Starlight Kid. And there was actually respect shown after the match, so that was nice to see. For the World of Stardom title, champion Julia took on Maya Yuki in a double countout. Interesting match, still good nonetheless. And in the final of the Triangle Derby, and also the Artists of Stardom titles, the Prominence team of Rugi Kurumi, Yusa Sera, and Susie Suzuki, who are champions, defeated Amy Sarai, Mirai, and Siri. All outstanding matches there. Great show by Stardom once again. If you can catch them, you know where on DJ Stream he's shown 3 of those matches already, so check that out when you can. On to DDT Yokohama Unlimited Volume 2. And my favorite title of all, the DDT Ironman Heavy Metal Championship. They had a battle royal. And Akito is the new champion, dethroning Yoshihiko. Still gotta love that. 2 Jersey Championship Wrestling, March Madness 2023. Free and live on YouTube, so check that out if you can on GameChangerWrestling.com or their site, however you want to go. We had Dylan McKay and Marcus Mathers defeating Gabriel Scott and Steve Scott. Yoya defeated Carlos Romo. The main event of Jay Lyon and Midas Black defeating Young, Dumb, and Broke of Charlie Tiger and Ellis Taylor. Joshua Bishop defeated Big Vin. And for the Battle Bowl ring, the ring holder of Alec Price defeated CPA. And at the end of the match, Joshua Bishop came out, knocked out Alex, and took the ring. So we'll see how what that leads to next. Sawyer Ruck defeated Bam Sullivan. And in a 2 out of 3 falls match, Billy Starks defeated Janai Kai 2 falls to 1. Down to Enjoy Wrestling, Rites of Spring. Derek Dillinger and Ziggy Ham, who are the Enjoy Tag Champions, defeated Lance Lude and Rob Killjoy. For the Fest Wrestling title, champion Savannah Evans defeated Danny Moe. For the Tokyoshi Pro Princess Tag titles, champions Heidi Howitzer and Maxton Paler defeated Jordan Blade and Trish Adora. And for the Enjoy title, Edith Surreal defeated champion MV Young to become new champion. To Woodstock, Illinois and Chicago Star Wrestling, they put on a Northland promotion show. So for the CSW Northland Pro Heavyweight title, champion Eric Schultz defeated Jax Johnson. And in a Flaming Tables match, Cody James defeated our buddy Cypher. Hopefully that's out there somewhere to see. Back to New Jersey and GCW Holy Smoke Show. We had Gringo in a 6-way scramble. Gringo Loco defeated Alec Price, Carlos Romo, Green Reefer, Jimmy Lloyd, and Shane Mercer. For the Jersey Championship Wrestling title, champion Jordan Oliver defeated Alex Coughlin. Blake Christian defeated Akira. For the GCW Extreme title, champion Joey Janela defeated Venny. Effie defeated Slade. For the GCW tag titles, Ciclope and Mito Extremo, who are champions, defeating the SAT of Joe Maximo and Jose Maximo in a fine match. We had El Hijo del Vikingo defeating Alex Zane in a crazy match that went all over the place. Check that out if you can. For the GCW Ultra Violent title, champion Rina Yamashita defeated Casey Kirk. Gotta ask this, that was something else. My favorite, Maki Ito defeated LuFisto. And then in a death match, John Wayne Murdoch defeated Drew Parker in his last death match in the States, as Drew is going to just go on to wrestle just normally. So that's good to see, because he's actually a really good wrestler. To Wrestling Revolver and Revolver Drip from Clive, Iowa. That was also on Fight TV. For the Revolver title, champion Steve Macklin defeated Rick Swan in a street fight. For the NWA World Historic Welterweight title, champion Rocky Romero defeated Jay Christ and Lindsay Dorado. Manders defeated Crash Jackson. For the PWR Remix title and Prestige title in a 15-minute title time limit match, champion Alex Shelley defeated Matthew Palmer. That'd be really good. A 6-man tag. JT Dunn, Logan James, and Tyler Matrix defeated Jessica Havoc, Rosemary, and Taya Valkyrie. I'm guessing some shenanigans went on in that match. Madman Fulton with Matthew Raywalt, of all people, defeated Dan the Dad. Madman doesn't need him to doesn't need Matthew to defeat Dan the Dad, but it happened anyway. Johnny Revolver, Johnny Morrison, Johnny Mundo, however you want to call him, he's Johnny Revolver here, defeated Ninja Mac. Kushida defeated Jonathan Gresham in what had a great match. And for their PWR tag team titles in a three-way match, the Rascals of Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz defeated champions Ace Austin and Chris Bay, as well as Matt Warner and Matthew Justice to become new champions. So congrats to them. To West Coast Pro, West Coast Best Coast Show on IWTV for the West Coast Pro Women's title that was vacant. We had Masha Slamovich defeating Sandra Moon, and Lita, of all people, came out to present the title to Masha, so that was very cool. Six-man tag, Aramis, Ray Horus, and Vento defeated Black Toros, Latigo, and Toxin. In a no DQ match, Vinny Massaro defeated Ricky Shane Page. Mike Bailey defeated Timothy Thatcher. Brian Keith and Starboy Charlie defeated Alan Angels and Kevin Blackwood. And for the West Coast Pro Heavyweight title, in a TLC match, champion Titus Alexander retained against Nick Wayne, which had to be an outstanding match there. To NWA versus AAA, The World is a Vampire show from Mexico. This has probably not been shown, so spoiler alert. Ariz and La Hydra defeated Aaron Stevens and Natalia Marikova. Commander and Octagon Jr. defeated Cyan and Homicide. Interesting tag team there. For the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title, in a three-way match, champion Kerry Morton defeated Jack Cartwheel and Sal the Pal. For the NWA World Women's title, champion Camille defeated Flammer. For the AAA World Trios title, champions El Cotaro, Forstero, and Sanson defeated Chris Adonis, Kratos, and Tom Lattimore. For the NWA World Tag titles, Bestia 666 and Mecha Wolf were champions, defeated Blue Demon Jr. and Vampiro. Psycho Clown defeated Trevor Murdoch. And for the NWA World Heavyweight title, champion Tyrus defeated Daga. So yeah, I'm telling you, Daga's on some type of streak right now, going for all these titles and wrestling all over the place. So nice to see that back. To Sunday, March 5th, New Japan Cup Day 1. So first round match of Tatsuya Naito defeated El Phantasmo, and Sonata defeated Taichi. The rest of the show is pretty good, I'm sure, but I'm just gonna go through go through those right now. Over to England and Red Pearl Live in London 71. For the Red Pearl Undisputed British Tag Titles, champions Brandon White and Danny Jones defeated Dover and Icarus. In a non-title match, Danny Luna defeated Becca. In an 8-man tag elimination match, Gabriel Kidd, Leon Slater, Luke Jacobs, and Ricky Knight Jr. defeated Cameron Ka, Michael Oku, Robbie X, and Zach Knight, with Luke Jacobs eliminating Michael Oku last. Back here in the States, and GCW Ransom Show right before AEW Revolution, so a lot of wrestling that day for me. And in a 6-man scramble, Alec Price defeated Carlos Romo, Gabriel Sky, Gringo Loco, Jimmy Lloyd, and Yo-Yo. So they just kind of reversed the order there. Mike Bailey defeated Shane Mercer, who was actually supposed to be Drew Parker, but he got kind of messed up the night before in that death match, so Shane took his place. For the GCW tag titles, the Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin defeated champions Ciclope and Mito Extremo to become new champions. So they're GCW tag team champions as well. In a death match, Masha Slamovich defeated John Wayne Murdoch. In a 6-woman tag, Maki Ito teamed with Rina Yamashita and Rennie to defeat Billy Starks, Janai Kai, and Sawyer Wreck. That was a fun match. For the Jersey City Wrestling Championship, champion Jordan Oliver defeated Blake Christian by DQ. These two don't like each other, so I actually missed this ending. I was not going to try and rewind, but I'm sure it was a fine match. For the GCW Extreme title, champion Joey Janela defeated Brandon Kirk in a very brutal match. Then it was a four-way tag match of the Bang Bros of August Matthews and Dave Bang. Nice to see them out in Atlantic City. The one called Manners and Mance Warner. Dylan McKay, Marcus Mathers, and Charlie Tiger and Ellis Taylor. It went to a no contest as ISW from Canada came out and interrupted the match, where Speedball Mike Bailey actually turned on GCW and joined up with his Canadian folks, and a big brawl ensued. So it was kind of a crazy rumble going on. As some of you might know, GCW is going to Canada on the 11th, and then 2 shows next weekend. So this was a way to kick it off, and this is a crazy battle. And then the main event, after 25-minute intermission, in a steel cage match, Alley Catch defeated Charles Mason. Yeah, I was done by that time. Too long. Intermission waste, too long. Those cages take forever there, I guess. But good match nonetheless. Not as bloody as you would think for an Alley Catch Charles Mason match, but still cool nonetheless. On to Monday, March 6th, and New Japan Wrestling's 51st anniversary event. This is actually free on New Japan World, so check that out if you can. I did because it's free. We had El Phantasmo and Kenta defeating Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. In a 6-man tag, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Will Ospreay defeated Satoshi Kojima, Tama Tonga, and Toriano. In a non-title 6-man tag, El Desperado, Minoru Suzuki, and Ren Narita defeated Dick Togo, Evil, and Show. We had Aaron Hiranare, Gerdo Khan, and Jeff Cobb defeating Sonata, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. So that was interesting. Takagi took the pin. So there's storyline coming out of that. Leo Rush and Yo defeated Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi. First round matches, Sota Umino defeated Yujiro Takahashi, as well as David Finlay defeated Tomohiro Ishii. And David Finlay is now the new leader of Bullet Club. Why? I don't know, but he is. And then for the IWGP tag titles, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi to retain against Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada. Fine tag team match here, and Tanahashi took the pin. To Chokiyoshi Pro on a Monday night. Yeah, the night before Grand Princess. Obviously, I don't have the Grand Princess results, so Rika Tatsumi defeated Kaya Toribami. The Up Girls of Hikari Noa and Miya Watanabe defeated the Up Girls of Raku and Shino Suzuki. Miya Yamashita defeated Toga. Yeah, I'm not sure of her yet. And then we had Mahiro Kiru and Yuki Kamifuku with Naoka Kuda defeating Hironako, Pam Hiroshiku, and Yuki Aino. And Suzumi, Yuka Sakazaki, and Yuki Arai defeated Yusho Endo, Mizuki, and Roko Miyamoto. To Tuesday, I'm going along here, March 7th, Progress. They had a Gene Money's Daft Lad Emporium show. So Callum Newman defeated Jack Bandicoot and Leon Slater. Nina Samuels defeated Danny Luna. Single Hero Erie defeated Fuminaro Abe in a mask versus mask match. Man-like Mysterio or Man-like Darius defeated Kid Lycos II. So Kid Lycos lost his mask. Dean Allmark defeated Dan Maloney. Amari defeated Warren Banks. And Kid Lycos teamed with TK Cooper to defeat LJ Cleary and Millie McKenzie. Wednesday, March 8th, New Japan Cup Day 2. Mark Davis defeated Toriano, and Evil defeated Ren Narita. Then since it was International Women's Day, Eve put on a show, Women's Behaving Badly. It's on YouTube, so check that out. And Nina Samuels defeated Becca. Millie McKenzie defeated Casey. Charlie Morgan and Jetta defeated Natsu Samuri and Session Moth Martina. Miyoki Takashi defeated Alexis Falcon. And for the Eve title, champion Mia Yamashita defeated Lizzie Evil. We have a free Galley Lucha show this Sunday on Pro Wrestling TV, so check it out if you can. It's all in Spanish, so if you want to watch it, go right ahead. You might not know the people, just like I did. No, there's no graphics, so you might be really lost. Sorry. But until next week, that's a wrap for me. Hope you enjoyed the cut. Thank you for watching or listening. Take care, keep safe, and be kind, everyone. Enjoy your wrestling. Back to you, Tom.
All right, thank you, Charlie. So next up, we are going to go into what I consider to be the people that had the best week in wrestling, and that's called the Top 5. This week's Top 5 is actually Top 4. It's just the Top 4, and it's the basically the top 2 guys in each company right now for AEW, MJF and Bryan Danielson for the story that they told at AEW Revolution, and Cody and Roman in WWE for the story that they are telling going into WrestleMania. I mean, you know, the world title pictures in both companies right now are very, very good, in my opinion. There's going to be people out there that don't like them, and, you know, that's their problem. Honestly, that's their problem. You can't just enjoy wrestling. You got to have something negative to say about everything. That's on you. I'm loving both of them. I mean, you know, we've got heel champions in both companies right now and guys that have real, true heel heat. And, you know, they're, I mean, it's very old school. It's old school NWA is what it is, because you've got the heel champions and you get the you know, the big time baby faces chasing them. And in Roman's case, for almost 3 years, he's held those titles. So I'm just the world title picture in both companies right now is freaking awesome. So yeah, that's the top 4 for this week. MJF, Bryan Danielson, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. So next up, we got something a little bit interesting. I'm going to be playing Armchair Promoter here, and I'm going to do that in the Fantasy Booker. All right, so the Fantasy Booker this week is a match that has been speculated for a few years already. They thought it was going to happen this year. Obviously, it's not. But I'm going to tell you how to make it happen, how it could happen, how it should happen, or should have happened if it was going to take place this year. And the match I'm talking about is The Rock and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns calls himself the head of the table. He's, you know, the tribal chief, the leader of their family. Well, obviously, the leader of that family is The Rock. You know, outside of wrestling, the leader, the top guy in that family is The Rock. I don't think anybody can argue that. But, you know, from a wrestling storyline standpoint, you know, that, I mean, it makes a great story because, and this is how you set it up. Roman wins at WrestleMania. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cody's going to get the titles, but Roman wins at WrestleMania, just further cemented himself and just inflates his ego even more, and, you know, and just becoming even more unbearable. Then the next night on Raw, of course, Roman comes out to the ring. He's got the titles, he's got the bloodline and Heyman, and he's running his mouth on the mic, and then all of a sudden, The Rock's music hits. That Monday night on Raw. He's finally had enough of listening to Roman talking about he's the head of the table, he's the tribal chief, Rock's the one who set the table for him, and blah, 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 blah. And then you book that match for next WrestleMania. Just like they did with Cena and The Rock the first time. You book it a year in advance. Or was it the second time they booked it? I don't know, whatever. The way they did it with Cena and Rock, you book it a year in advance and you build and you leave those titles on Roman all that time. And, then by the time next WrestleMania comes up, he's going on 4 years as the champion. And, there's just a lot that could be done there. And, you have Rock make sporadic appearances, whether it's, in vignettes or via satellite or whatever. But because the big reason that this match hasn't happened is because The Rock doesn't have time. He's too damn busy. Well, book it a year in advance. Book that date. Get him, locked down for that date. And then you build to it for a year, just like they did with John Cena. It could be done. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's how I would build that match. I mean, hell, they could have done that last year. When Roman retained the titles at last year's WrestleMania. They could have had The Rock come out the following night on Raw and book the match for this year. It could be happening. But, that's just me. That's how I would do it. That's how I think you have to do it for a match of that magnitude. You have to give it. You can't book that just a couple weeks or even a couple months ahead of time. You need to give that match time to build and, again, make it's already personal, obviously. I mean, there would be no problem making it personal. Make it even more personal. Bring in Alpha and Sika. Bring in everybody. Bring in Rikishi. Bring in The Rock's mom. Bring in everybody. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is The Rock's mom still alive? I apologize if she's not. I honestly don't remember. But you get my point. Bring in all the family members, even like Jacob Fatu from MLW if they can get him to make an appearance. I doubt it because Court Bauer's suing WWE, but we'll leave that alone. But you get my point. Bring in the entire freaking Samoan dynasty into this one and just work it and work it and work it for a year. And, that... To me, that would make for one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. So, that's my thoughts on it. That's how I would book it. So, we'll see if it ever actually happens. Alright, so we're going to wrap things up with the same way we always do, with my usually not so popular opinion on something, and I'm going to do that in the weekly hot take. Alright, so for the hot take this week, I'm going to go back to something I was talking about earlier, and that's Rey and Dominic. They need to book the match already. I mean, this has been going for months since Dominic turned on Rey. They need to just already say, okay, this match is going to happen at WrestleMania. It's 4 weeks away. They need to pull the trigger and book the freaking match, because it's getting to the point it's starting to annoy me, and that means it's working. Don't get me wrong. That means that their storyline, their storytelling is working, but they need to just book the match, because this stuff every week, Dom just pushing Rey further and further and further and further. I'm waiting. Like I said, it's very realistic, very good storytelling on their part that Rey has not put his hands on Dominic yet. Very good. I'm a father. I could not even fathom a situation where I could, just haul off and punch my son. There's no way. Anybody who has kids can relate to Rey's side of that. And anybody who's had angst towards their parents can relate to Dom's side of it. So it's a cool storyline. But I'm waiting for the day Rey's just gonna say, you know what, to hell with it, and slap the shit out of Dominic. And it's coming. It's coming. I'm hoping it's gonna be in the next week, because as soon as that happens, the match is booked. And then obviously the match at WrestleMania is more than likely it's gonna be for the mask, because we've seen Dominic destroy a couple of Rey's masks already, and it's gonna be Rey passing the torch to his son, and I don't think when that match takes place, I don't think Dom can maintain being a heel after that. I see Dom winning the match, and maybe I'm wrong, because maybe the storyline will continue past WrestleMania with Ray without his mask, but who knows? I would think that would be quite possibly Ray's retirement, but again, I'm speculating. But my whole point is they need to book this damn match already, because just the build to it is driving me insane. So that's it. Just say, yes, Ray versus Dominic at WrestleMania for the mask, and just book it. So anyway, that is going to wrap up this week's show. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching, listening, subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. Make sure you head to linktree/catchhookshoot or scan the QR code right here in the corner. You'll find links to all of our social medias, our website, YouTube, all the podcasting platforms, anything you can want to know about the show. And if you ever want to shoot us an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. So with that, I'm going to sign off for this week. Hope everybody has a great week, a great weekend. Enjoy all the great wrestling coming up, and I will talk to you guys soon.